I think the ring shrank, I joked, holding my hand out to Daniel. He smiled without looking up from his phone. You're just nervous. I'm excited, I said softly. There's a difference. He hummed, distracted. That was becoming normal. Weeks before our wedding, I was planning seating charts while he planned silence. I told myself love needed patience. I told myself I was overthinking. Sarah leaned across the cafe table. You haven't slept, she said. I'm fine. You always say that when you're not. He's busy. I defended Daniel quickly. Work's crazy. Sarah raised an eyebrow. So is love supposed to feel lonely? I laughed too fast. Don't start. At home, my mom watched me fold invitation cards. You used to sing while you worked, she said gently. I'm just tired, Amy. Tired or worried? I said tired. She touched my hand. Love should not feel heavy. That night, Daniel finally noticed me. You've been quiet, he said, slipping into bed. So have you. I'm stressed, he replied. This wedding, the expectations. I never asked for perfect, I whispered. I asked for honest. He kissed my forehead. You worry too much. I stared at the ceiling, the ring pressing against my skin. It used to feel warm. Now it felt like a promise tightening instead of fitting. The next morning, I caught him smiling at his phone. Who's that? I asked lightly. Work, he said too fast. Sarah texted me. Coffee? You need air. I replied later. At the bridal shop, the woman asked, nervous? No, I said. Just adjusting. Adjusting became my excuse for everything. For his distance. For my shrinking voice. That evening, I said, do you still want this? Daniel sighed. Why would you ask that? Because you feel far. I'm right here. But he wasn't. Sarah called. Did you talk to him? Yes. And he says I worry too much. Do you believe that? I looked at my ring. I believe in him. My mom knocked softly. Tea, please. She watched me stir without drinking. Marriage is not endurance, she said. I know. Then why are you bracing yourself? I didn't answer. That night, Daniel showered, leaving his phone on the bed. It buzzed. Once. Twice. I didn't touch it. I wasn't that woman. Then the screen lit up. Lily, I miss you already. My chest tightened. My fingers went numb. I didn't unlock the phone. I didn't need to. Daniel walked out, towel around his waist. You okay? Yes. I lied. I stared at the ceiling again, the ring heavier than ever. Love wasn't supposed to feel like this. And for the first time, I wondered if patience was just fear wearing a softer name. I'm meeting a client, Daniel said, grabbing his keys. Tonight? I asked. Yes. Don't wait up. I nodded, smiling like trust still lived in my mouth. The moment the door closed, my chest burned. Sarah's voice echoed in my head. Listen to your body. I followed him. I hated myself for it. Every red light felt like a test. Please prove me wrong, I whispered. Daniel parked outside an old apartment building. Not an office. Not a cafe. I sat frozen. Maybe he's early, I said. Maybe I'm crazy. I stepped out anyway. The hallway smelled like dust and cheap perfume. Laughter floated through the air. A woman's laugh. Soft. Familiar. No, I breathed. Please. I walked toward the sound. Each step felt borrowed. The door was half open. Inside, Daniel stood close to Lily. My voice came out broken. Daniel? He turned pale. I can explain. Lily didn't move. She smiled. So this is her. I laughed once. It sounded wrong. You lied. Daniel rushed toward me. It's not what you think. Then tell me what to think, I said. Say it slowly. He ran a hand through his hair. It just happened. Lily crossed her arms. Don't insult her with that. I stared at her. You knew. She shrugged. He said you were distant. I looked at Daniel. Was I? He whispered. You were busy with wedding things. So you slept with her? Silence answered me. My ears rang. How long? Daniel said. It didn't mean anything. I nodded. That's worse. Lily stepped closer. He loves you. I'm just real. I swallowed. Real enough to smile at this? She met my eyes. Someone had to. My hands shook. I slid the ring off my finger. I thought this meant forever. Daniel reached out. Please don't. I placed the ring on the table. It sounded louder than it should have. I trusted you, I said. I defended you. He cried. I made a mistake. I answered. You made a choice. Lily picked up her purse. I'll wait outside. When the door closed, Daniel dropped to his knees. I love you. I stepped back. You love comfort. He begged. We can fix this. I shook my head. I won't compete for my own place. He grabbed my wrist. Don't leave. I pulled free. This ended when you lied. I walked past him. He followed. Say something. I stopped at the door. I hope she's worth it. Please, he cried. I didn't turn back. The hallway felt quieter. My legs moved without permission. Behind me, he shouted my name. I kept walking. Outside, the night air hit hard. I pressed my hand to my chest. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just knew my life had split into before and after. My phone buzzed. Sarah's name flashed. I declined it. Daniel followed me into the stairwell. Listen to me, he said. You're overreacting. I laughed again. Overreacting would be screaming. Then scream, he said. Fight for us. I already did, I replied. Every time I ignored my fear. He said, I was scared of marriage. So you destroyed it first? I asked. He leaned against the wall. I didn't want to hurt you. You wanted to feel wanted, I said. You wanted easy. Lily's voice floated from below. Are we leaving? Daniel flinched. Not now. I looked down the stairs. She sounds patient. He snapped. Stop. I said, you asked me not to wait up. He covered his face. What do you want from me? The truth, I said. Once. He whispered, I didn't think you'd find out. That landed harder than any confession. I nodded. Then you never planned to stop. He reached for my hand again. Please. I stepped away. Don't turn my kindness into permission. He said my name like it could save him. I opened the door. Goodbye, Daniel. He followed me outside. I'll fix this. I replied, you already finished it. I walked toward my car. My reflection shook in the window. I said out loud, I choose myself. The words felt new. They felt true. Behind me, his footsteps stopped. I drove away slowly, hands steady, heartbreaking, future burning open. At last now. I canceled the wedding with my voice shaking but steady. It's over, I told the hall manager. Please release the date. He asked, are you sure? Yes, I said. I'm sure. At home, boxes of gifts waited like accusations. Sarah sat beside me. We'll return them, she said. I hate this, I replied. Everyone will know. They already know something, she said. You don't owe details. My phone rang all day. I stopped answering. When Amy called, I picked up. Beta, she said softly. Come sit with me. I don't want pity. You will get love, she answered. At the tailor, I said, I won't need the dress. He frowned. Is there a problem? Yes, I said. The groom. He nodded. I'm sorry. We returned gifts. Receipt? The clerk asked. Yes, I said. She glanced at my eyes. Congratulations? No, I replied. Closure. Sarah squeezed my shoulder. One step, she whispered. I'm taking it, I said. Whispers followed me home. In the stairwell, a neighbor asked, what happened? I chose myself, I said, and kept walking. Another voice murmured, poor girl. I clenched my jaw. I'm not poor, I whispered. I'm awake. Aunt Khalida cornered me that evening. You embarrassed the family, she snapped. I was betrayed, I replied. She waved a hand. Nadia is young. Men stray. You should forgive. Forgive who? I asked. The liar or the thief? Her face hardened. Watch your tongue. My tongue didn't cheat, I said. She said, people will judge you. They already are, I replied. I'm still standing. Sarah squeezed my hand. Stop, she said. Khalida hissed. You ruined everything. I answered. I didn't break my vows. I didn't make any. Armin's parents arrived the next day. Mr. Raymond said, for honor's sake, forgive him. Mrs. Raymond added, people will talk. I said, they already are. Mr. Raymond leaned forward. Marriage is compromise. So is truth, I replied. Where was his? They exchanged looks. Mrs. Raymond said, Nadia meant nothing. That's not comforting, I said. It's terrifying. Mr. Raymond sighed. Think carefully. I said. For months alone. Mrs. Raymond said, don't be stubborn. I'm being safe, I replied. When they left, my chest burned. Maybe I failed, I told Sarah. She shook her head. You survived. I feel small. Then grow, she said. Don't shrink. I'm angry. Good, she replied. Anger guards the wound. Outside the mosque, a woman whispered, shame. Truth, I answered. What if I caused this? I asked Sarah. He caused it, she said. I ignored signs. You trusted love, she replied. That's not a crime. It feels like one. Feelings aren't verdicts. At night, I opened old messages. I miss you. Armin had written months ago. You were already gone, I whispered. Dates lined up like a confession. How long? The answer hurt more than the truth. Busy, he wrote. Working late. Lies travel light, I said. I understand, I had replied. I shouldn't have, I said now. Amy knocked. Sleep? I can't. Grief comes in waves. I'm drowning. Then breathe with me. I did. Tomorrow will come. I'm afraid of it. Later, Armin called. I won't talk. Please. You made a pattern. I love you. I loved you. How do I fix this? You can't. I'm sorry. So am I. I sat alone in the dark and argued with myself. If I stayed quiet, would this hurt less? I asked. If I forgave, would people stop staring? My phone buzzed with unknown numbers. I muted them all. You don't need an audience, I told myself. The room felt empty. Empty is honest, I answered back. I washed my face and said, you can grieve and still choose dignity. The words felt borrowed, but they stayed. I repeated them slowly, counting breaths, letting the night pass without answers. I promised myself morning would bring courage, patience, boundaries, rest, resolve, clarity, and mercy. Silence followed. I stared at the mirror. Who are you? I asked myself. My reflection didn't answer. I touched my face and whispered, I lost myself loving him. I'm not explaining anymore, I said out loud, staring at my phone. Sarah's name filled the screen. You don't owe anyone, she said gently. I know, I replied. I just forgot. I blocked Daniel's number, then his email, then every social app where his name could reach me. My hands shook, but my breath felt lighter. My mom watched quietly. Does it hurt? She asked. Yes. Does it feel right? Yes. She nodded. Then you chose correctly. The first therapy session felt like a confession. Dr. Brooks smiled kindly. Why are you here? I'm afraid, I admitted. Of him. Of being alone. She leaned forward. What scares you about that? That no one will choose me again. Did he choose you? I swallowed. He chose himself. Dr. Brooks said, then you've already survived. Walking home, I repeated that sentence like a shield. Mark texted me that night. Coffee tomorrow? No pressure. I stared at the words. No pressure felt unfamiliar. At the cafe, he said, you don't have to talk. I want to, I replied. Just slowly. He nodded. I can do slow. We talked about work, weather, small things. He didn't ask about Daniel. That mattered more than I expected. Later, alone, anger crept in. He ruined everything, I whispered. Then guilt followed. Maybe I wasn't enough. In therapy, I said, I want him to regret it. Dr. Brooks asked, what would that give you? Relief. And then, silence. She said, peace doesn't come from watching someone fall. At home, I packed wedding items into boxes. My mom helped. You can throw these away, she said. Not yet, I replied. I need to let them go properly. Sarah called. He came by your place. I know. You're not going to talk to him? No. That's strong. It's survival, I corrected. One night, I almost unblocked him. My finger hovered. What would you say? I asked myself. Nothing new waited on the other side. I deleted his photos instead. Mark noticed the change. You're quieter, he said. I'm listening to myself, I replied. He smiled. I like that. At therapy, Dr. Brooks asked, what do you want now? Peace, I said. And revenge. I want it, I admitted. But I don't want who it would make me. She nodded. That's growth. I rebuilt small habits. Morning walks. Cooking for one. Sleeping without waiting for messages. Each choice felt fragile but real. My mom said, you laugh again. I do. Yes. Softly. Sarah hugged me tightly. I'm proud of you. I didn't do anything dramatic, I said. You walked away, she replied. That's brave. One evening, Mark said, you deserve gentleness. I answered, I'm learning to give it to myself. I passed a mirror and barely recognized the woman standing taller. Daniel emailed from a new address. Please talk to me. I didn't reply. Instead, I wrote in my journal, I choose silence. The anger faded slower than the sadness, but it faded. I told Dr. Brooks, I don't feel empty anymore. She smiled. What do you feel? Honest, I said. On my last page of the journal, I wrote the truth I was avoiding. Walking away hurt more than staying, but it finally felt honest. I heard Daniel missed the deadline, a coworker said casually. I paused. I didn't know. She shrugged. People stopped trusting him. I nodded and changed the subject, but the words stayed. Sarah noticed my silence later. You're thinking about him. I'm hearing about him, I replied. Same thing? No, I said. Different weight. At therapy, Dr. Brooks asked, how does it feel? Strange, I said. Like relief with guilt attached. Why guilt? Because I didn't do anything. She smiled. Exactly. A mutual friend texted. Lily moved out. I typed back, I hope they're okay. I didn't mean it. I didn't hate them either. At lunch, someone whispered, he's struggling at work. I replied, I'm sorry to hear that. They looked surprised. You're calm. I'm tired, I said. Not cold. That night I told my mom, people keep telling me things. She asked, do you ask? No. Then let them pass through, she said. Dr. Brooks said, justice isn't always loud. I expected fireworks, I admitted. Fireworks burn fast, she replied. Embers last. Mark noticed the shift. You don't flinch anymore, he said. I stopped waiting, I replied. For what? For apologies that fix nothing. Sarah called. Lily left him. I heard. Do you feel better? I feel quieter, I said. That's new. I walked past Daniel's office building one evening. I didn't look up. Why am I calm? I asked myself. Because you're not involved, I answered. At therapy, I confessed, part of me wants him to suffer. Dr. Brooks asked, and then? I want peace. Which one feeds you? Peace, I said. Suffering just distracts. A friend said, he asked about you. What did you say? That you're doing well. Thank you, I replied. Mark smiled at me over coffee. You seem lighter. I put something down, I said. What? The need to be right. I dreamed of my old ring sinking into water. I didn't wake up panicked. Sarah hugged me. You're different. I'm steady, I said. That scares people, she laughed. It comforts me. Dr. Brooks asked, is karma enough? I thought. It doesn't need my approval. She nodded. That's wisdom. I heard Daniel lost another client. I said, I hope he learns. From what? Someone asked. From silence, I replied. One night, anger knocked softly. Let me in, it said. No, I answered. I'm resting. I cooked dinner alone and enjoyed it. My mom said, you smile without forcing it. I'm not bracing anymore, I replied. Sarah texted, proud of you. I wrote back, me too. I passed a mirror and didn't search for damage. I said out loud, karma doesn't need my hands. The room felt peaceful. I realized strength didn't arrive with noise. It arrived quietly, like breath returning after panic. I heard Daniel missed the deadline, a coworker said casually. I paused. I didn't know. She shrugged. People stopped trusting him. I nodded and changed the subject, but the word stayed. Sarah noticed my silence later. You're thinking about him. I'm hearing about him, I replied. Same thing. No, I said. Different weight. At therapy, Dr. Brooks asked, how does it feel? Strange, I said. Like relief with guilt attached. Why guilt? Because I didn't do anything. She smiled. Exactly. A mutual friend texted. Lily moved out. I typed back, I hope they're okay. I didn't mean it. I didn't hate them either. At lunch, someone whispered, he's struggling at work. I replied, I'm sorry to hear that. They looked surprised. You're calm. I'm tired, I said. Not cold. That night I told my mom, people keep telling me things. She asked, do you ask? No. Then let them pass through, she said. Dr. Brooks said, justice isn't always loud. I expected fireworks, I admitted. Fireworks burn fast, she replied. Embers last. Mark noticed the shift. You don't flinch anymore, he said. I stopped waiting, I replied. For what? For apologies that fix nothing. Sarah called. Lily left him. I heard. Do you feel better? I feel quieter, I said. That's new. I walked past Daniel's office building one evening. I didn't look up. Why am I calm? I asked myself. Because you're not involved, I answered. At therapy, I confessed, part of me wants him to suffer. Dr. Brooks asked, and then? I want peace. Which one feeds you? Peace, I said. Suffering just distracts. A friend said, he asked about you. What did you say? That you're doing well. Thank you, I replied. Mark smiled at me over coffee. You seem lighter. I put something down, I said. What? The need to be right. I dreamed of my old ring sinking into water. I didn't wake up panicked. Sarah hugged me. You're different. I'm steady, I said. That scares people, she laughed. It comforts me. Dr. Brooks asked, is karma enough? I thought. It doesn't need my approval. She nodded. That's wisdom. I heard Daniel lost another client. I said, I hope he learns. From what? Someone asked. From silence, I replied. One night, anger knocked softly. Let me in, it said. No, I answered. I'm resting. I cooked dinner alone and enjoyed it. My mom said, you smile without forcing it. I'm not bracing anymore, I replied. Sarah texted, proud of you. I wrote back, me too. I passed a mirror and didn't search for damage. I said out loud, karma doesn't need my hands. The room felt peaceful. I realized strength didn't arrive with noise. It arrived quietly, like breath returning after panic. I sat alone at the wedding, my dress simple, my heart quiet. Are you okay? Sarah asked, sliding into the seat beside me. I am, I said softly. Better than okay. The bride laughed, radiant in white. I smiled too, not bitterly but with peace. You don't look sad, Sarah said. I don't feel sad, I replied. I feel free. I watched couples dance and whispered to myself, this isn't mine. And that's fine. Later, I slipped off my old wedding shoes, the ones I'd almost worn down the aisle. Sarah raised an eyebrow. I never need them again, I said. They belong to someone else now. I packed them into a bag and donated them the next day. It felt like releasing ghosts. At home, I pulled out a notebook. I wrote a letter to my past self. Dear me, you loved too deeply. You trusted too quickly. You let someone who didn't deserve you near your heart. It's okay. You survived. You are stronger than you think. Forgive yourself, as I forgive you now. Your love wasn't weakness. It was proof you are alive. Stay brave. Stay honest. I reread the letter and felt warmth spread through me, a quiet kind of triumph. My phone buzzed. A message from a mutual friend. Daniel lost his job. Lily left him. He's alone. I typed back, I'm glad he's learning consequences. Then I deleted the thread. I didn't need details. I didn't need closure from him. Closure had already settled in me. Sarah sipped her tea. Are you sure you're okay? I am, I said again. I'm calm. Stronger than I've been in years. I thought about the months of betrayal, the nights of tears, the therapy sessions, the walks, the small victories. Do you think karma helped? Sarah asked. I think life did, I replied. I didn't touch it. I didn't plan it. I just lived. That was enough. I stood and walked to the balcony. The wind lifted my hair. The city lights glimmered below. I survived, I whispered. I survived and I'm whole. I thought of Daniel and the hollow house he must live in now. Not my business. Not my burden. He made his choices. I made mine. I wrote in my journal, revenge never heals. Living does. Sarah joined me on the balcony. You look at peace. I am, I said, because I chose myself. Not him. Not anyone. Just me. I smiled at the moonlight. I loved deeply, and that's a gift, not a mistake. Later, I closed the journal and placed it on my shelf. A symbol of growth, not regret. I remembered the ring I had taken off, the promises that felt like chains. I whispered, I don't need those chains anymore. And I meant it. At the end of the night, I slipped on new shoes, comfortable, practical, mine. Sarah laughed. New shoes for a new life. Yes, I said. Every step forward is mine. I looked back at the wedding hall one last time. Couples, laughter, music. None of it belonged to me, and none of it needed to. I felt gratitude for the lessons, for my courage, for the strength I discovered in the quiet aftermath of betrayal. I sent one final message to my past self. You survived. You are enough. You are more than enough. The city lights flickered in rhythm with my heartbeat. I took a deep breath. The night was mine. And I whispered to the empty streets, I choose me, and that is more than enough.